Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All thanks and praise are due to Allah, whom we thank, seek for help, and invoke for forgiveness. We seek refuge with Allah from the devil within ourselves and from our bad deeds. He whom Allah guides will never be misled, and he whom Allah misguides will never find one to guide him. I bear witness there is no one worthy of worship except for Allah, and that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his servant and messenger. Having that said, O servants of Allah, last week we mentioned, or 2 weeks ago we mentioned how to build a house in Jannah for each one of us. And then last week we talked about Jannah itself, paradise, and all that it contains and the beauties of it. And this week, inshallah, we're talking about Sahih Hadith on how to enter Jannah. Okay? Inshallah, I'll keep it short. Inshallah, I'll try to keep it short. I know it's cold, it's raining, so we can all go home, inshallah. Bismillah, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. So, when you think about Jannah, a lot of people sometimes forget that it's actually not as difficult as you may think it is. Very simple. We know that Rasulullah alayhi salatu he told us, if you pray your salah, if you come on the day of judgment and your salah is good, you pray your prayer on time, the day of judgment will be easy for you. That day will be good. You will enter Jannah. Just from your salah. A man asked the messenger, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, do you think that if I perform the obligatory prayers, fast in Ramadan, treat as lawful that which is lawful, and treat as forbidden that which is forbidden, and do nothing further, I shall enter paradise? And Rasulullah ﷺ said, yes. Yes, that's it. Pray your salah, pay your zakah, do what you have to do, and join good, forbid evil, do not transgress the boundaries of Allah, and Jannah is for you. Do not overburden yourself. That's that thing. Very simple. And also, and this, the narrator also mentioned other things. But one thing also, doing Hajj. Doing Hajj, one Hajj. Rasulullah said, the reward for Hajj is simple. If it's accepted by Allah, you will enter Jannah. That's the reward of Hajj. So if any of us have not done Hajj, try to work on collecting money, saving money, so we can do Hajj, inshallah. Next point is praying your cool prayers. This is what Rasulullah ﷺ referred to. He said, whoever prays the 2 cool prayers, he will go to paradise. What are the 2 cool prayers? Fajr and Asr. Fajr and Asr. These are the 2 cool prayers which Rasulullah told us about. The angels, the malaika, they come to you 2 times every single day. 2 times. They come to you and they report to Allah your deeds. They come to you at Asr time and they see what you're doing. If you're praying, they go report to Allah. They tell, oh Allah, your servant is worshipping you. And then they come again at the time of Fajr. They come at the time of Fajr and they ask and they see what you're doing. Right? And they go back to Allah and they say, your servant is worshiping you. So if you pray these 2 salawat, the angels are coming to you when Allah sends them and they're saying you worship. And then they're going back to Allah and come back at Fajr and saying you worship. Imagine that. That's what Allah loves. And that's what Rasulullah told us. You pray these 2 prayers, Jannah is for you. Salat al-Asr also, need to know, pay attention to salah. Right? Pay attention. And Allah mentioned it in the salah. حافظوا على الصلاة والصلاة الوسطى. Right? Salat al-Wusta. You know it's Salat al-Asr. Some ulama say Salat al-Fajr. But either way, look at this hadith. Pay attention to them. Don't be sleeping for Salat al-Fajr. Don't pray after its time. Same thing for Asr. Do not delay Salat al-Asr. Rasulullah said, don't delay it. Pray on its time. Get its reward. Rasulullah ﷺ, he said, whoever neglects Salat al-Asr, what do you say? Allah will void his actions. حبطت أعمالهم. Allah will void his actions. Your deeds are going to waste if you neglect Salat al-Asr. If you miss Salat al-Asr also, Rasulullah said it's worse than losing all of your family and all of your wealth. Everything you own, all your family, gone, done. That's worse. That's worse than missing Salat al-Asr. Sorry, Salat al-Asr is worse than that. Salat al-Asr is no joke. Pay attention to it. Don't delay. When it comes, pray your Salah. Pray Asr and Fajr. Try your best to pray on time. Another thing, another way that we get all into Jannah, which is by becoming, this is my favorite one, by becoming students of knowledge, studying the deen of Allah, learning about Islam, learning about your Prophet and Allah. Why? Because in this beautiful hadith, Rasulullah he narrates that he says, if anyone travels on a road in search of knowledge, Allah will cause him to travel on one of are one of the roads to paradise. He says, the angels will lower their wings in their great pleasure for the one who seeks knowledge. The inhabitants of the heavens and the earth and the fish in the deep waters will ask for forgiveness for the learned man. And subhanAllah, and then he continues even more. Rasulullah said, whoever seeks the path of knowledge, Allah will make that path for him to Jannah easy. You want to go to Jannah? Learn your deen. Who is Allah? Where is Allah? What is Tawheed? What? The very important things. We should know these things. Right? Something that a lot of us, we tend to forget about. Very important. Just the thing of who is Allah. Rasulullah ﷺ, he said, whoever learns the 99 names of Allah, not memorizes them, People translate this, man ahsah. People say memorize. No. Whoever learns them and acts upon them. For this person, Allah will enter into paradise. Right? Allah has 99 names. Min asma al-husna. Man ahsaha dakhala jannah. Whoever memorizes will enter paradise. Learn who is Allah. Who are you praying to? In salah, when you say Allahu Akbar, who is Allah? Do we truly know who is Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus? Do we truly know who it is that we worship? The one who we seek protection and forgiveness from. Learn who it is. Learn who that Rabb, your Lord is, who created you, and to who you will return. So learn about your deen, and Allah will make the path to Jannah very easy for you. Inshallah. May Allah make us amongst the inhabitants of Jannah. Another point. Being truthful leads to righteousness. And righteousness leads to paradise. And this is so beautiful. Why? Because Rasulullah ﷺ, he said truthfulness leads to righteousness. And righteousness leads to paradise. A man keeps on telling the truth until he becomes a truthful person. Full heads leads to al-fajr, which is like wickedness and evil doing. And al-fajr leads to Jahannam, hellfire. And a man keeps on telling lies until he is written before Allah a liar. So being truthful, being a sadiq, being a truthful person is enough to enter Jannah. Right? Because Rasulullah said that it leads to righteousness. It leads to you being a righteous person. So be truthful, be honest. And we mentioned before also, memorizing the 99 names of Allah. Very important. Memorize them and learn them. Okay? This thing right here, please learn about this. Learn one word a week. One word a week. Very, very simple. Learn these 99 names. Okay? And another thing. Okay, very important. Next point. Rasulullah ﷺ, he said that the heavens lay beneath the foot of the mother. Right? You know that? The heavens lay beneath the foot of the mother. So it's very, very important that we treat our mothers. Allah is very, very important for us to have our mothers that are still alive. Treat our mothers in the best way that we could. Respect them, honor them. And until you do something, do it. And in the Hadith, Rasulullah, one of the Sahabas, the companions, he asked Rasulullah, okay, we'll talk about another day, inshallah. But treat your parents with respect, especially your mother. Right? The Rasulullah is saying that Jannah, paradise. Today we're talking about paradise. You want Jannah? Treat your mother with respect. That's it. And that's say Hadith, we know. So, obey your mother, first person. Also, Rasulullah what's this Hadith? We'll talk about this point right here. Talking reward for visiting your brothers in faith. This is very, very important. Visiting your brothers for the sake of Allah. Rasulullah he said that Allah loves the ones who love each other for the sake of Allah. So if you guys love each other for the sake of Allah, you visit each other for the sake of Allah. Right? Not visiting your friend for a business transaction. Not visiting your friend to benefit from this dunya. Nothing wrong with that. But visiting your friend truly because you love him for the sake of Allah, that can get you into Jannah. Why? Because Rasulullah he said, he who visits his brother in faith will remain engaged in picking the fresh fruit from the gardens of Jannah until he returns. Allahu Akbar. Right? Just from visiting your friend. Very virtuous reward in Islam. Keep friendship, keep kinship, family, friendship. Stay close to your people. Always check upon your people. Rasulullah whenever he would see a Sahabi who he had not seen for some time, he would always ask about him. Where is the Fulan Fulan? Where is he? Right? But this is a big part of our deen. Next, another point. Rasulullah very simple. He said, whoever, last words are La ilaha illallah will enter Jannah. The point of this is for us to keep this on your mouth. Keep La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah on our mouths. This should be, our mouth should be moist with these words of dhikr. La ilaha illallah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu akbar, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. These words, very, very important, very important. Rasulullah he said in a hadith, a sahih hadith, he said when a person enters Jannah, he will have no regrets at all, except for one regret. What is that regret? That he did not make more dhikr, that he did not remember Allah more often, that he did not spend more of his time remembering Allah rather than not remembering Allah. I'm not saying rather than doing something haram. Right? You could be sitting for 1 hour, relaxing, watching TV, nothing haram, not a sin, but you're wasting your time. You could be remembering Allah, because in Jannah ya akhwa, in Jannah, the more that you remember Allah, the more your Jannah will be. Not every person in Jannah will be the same. No, it won't be. We said last week there's 7 levels. We have Al-Firdaus al-A'la, right? The highest one, which we all want to get to, inshallah. But our Jannahs will be different. The more you say subhanallah wa bihamdi, the more palm trees you have. The more that you remember Allah, the more your Jannah will be bigger. We said last week, you say Surah Al-Ikhlas, Qul huwallahu ahad, 10 times, right? Allah will build for you a house in paradise. He said that, you build a masjid, Allah will build for you a house in paradise. You leave an argument for the sake of Allah, Allah will build for you a house in paradise. These are just many of the few ways I mentioned that Allah could build for us a house in paradise. So many of us may have palaces, not houses, palaces made of silver and gold and rubies and all these beauty that the eye cannot imagine until we reach Jannah. Bi-idhnillah. May Allah make us amongst people of Jannah. Ameen ya Rabb. Another point. The one who looks after an orphan will enter paradise. This is according to Rasulullah ﷺ. Very, very important. Taking care of al-yatam. Rasulullah ﷺ was an orphan. And we know according to the definition in Islam, an orphan is not our definition, which is 2 parents passed away. No, the one whose father is dead. One whose father has passed away. A person growing up without a child to take care of these people. Wallahi, very, very important. If you know orphans, tell others about them. Take care of the orphans. It's mentioned all in the Quran. Right? Very, very important. Take care of al-yatam. Donate. Try to find people. Connect with people who you think you could help an orphan. Because that sadaqah, that donation you give to them, Ya Allah, how that will go a long way for you. That will benefit you. And the more that you donate, also to yatam, and for the sake of Allah also, you will see the barakah coming in your life. Rasulullah ﷺ, he says that when you donate, it does not decrease your risk. When you give money for the sake of Allah, you're not losing money. You will get that money back and more, and you will get more blessings from Allah, more rewards from Allah. Don't ever think that giving money away for the sake of Allah, to feed the hunger, to feed the orphans, don't ever think that you're losing money, then you're not. Rather, you're getting more money, more risk, more barakah, more of a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take care of these orphans, and we will all enter Jannah, bi-idhnillah. Another thing, I love this hadith so much. Listen to this. Rasulullah ﷺ, your prophet, he said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, O people, spread peace, feed the hunger, and pray at night when people are sleeping, and you will enter paradise. Allahu Akbar. Beautiful hadith. What are the 3 things? Spread peace, feed the hunger, pray at night, you will enter paradise. That's simple. Right? I mention it all the time. About, I was mentioning tahajjud. Right? Tahajjud, I told you, I will keep on mentioning it, inshallah, until I'm not here anymore. Take advantage of this. Inshallah, this will be our last point. And we'll continue next week, inshallah, for time purposes. But tahajjud, my brothers, can change your life. You want Jannah? Ask yourself if you truly want Jannah. Right? The difference between us and the Sahaba, radiallahu anhum, they only wanted Jannah. That was their life. They only wanted Jannah. Us, we also want Jannah. And we want some of this dunya too. We also want Jannah. Sahaba, no. They wanted Jannah. That's all they wanted. Right? So look at, for instance, tahajjud. Right? The scholars, they said tahajjud is like an arrow that never misses. If you want anything in your life, you want to get married, you want a job, you want a house, you want a better car, you want to get closer to Allah, pray tahajjud for that. And ask yourself, if there's something you've been wanting for a long time, but you have not prayed tahajjud, you have not woken up at the late hours of the night, the last third of the night, in the last half of the night, you have not asked Allah for that, ask yourself, how truly do you want that thing? How truly do you want it? Right? Because we know Rasulullah ﷺ, he said in the Sahih Hadith, that when the time comes, at the last third of the night, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends to the lowest heaven, and He asks His servants, who of my servants would want my mercy so I shall forgive? Who of my servants wants something, I shall give them. That's Allah. That's Allah. He's coming to us. But that's when people are sleeping. Because you will be bright than everyone else, when everyone's sleeping. And you are standing up in Qiyam. You are standing up, praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the path of the righteous. May Allah make us amongst them. Ameen. Right? So you want Jannah, right? The other point before also about feeding the poor, right? Also feed the poor. Right? Pray at night. Take advantage of this, right? It doesn't have to be tahajjud. After Isha, every salah is considered Qiyam al-Layl. Okay? Last hadith. Rasulullah in regards to this, he said, oh, whoever prays after Salat al-Isha, recites 10 ayahs. You can recite that in your Salat Sunnah al-Isha, right? You can recite Surah al-Falaq and An-Nas, and that will be enough. And he said that you will be written down as, you will be written down for those who remembered Allah. Just recite 10 verses before you go to bed after Salat al-Isha, that will be enough. Right? I hope you guys listen to these ways to enter Jannah. Okay? Pick up on them. Act upon any of them. Right? Inshallah. Very, very important. Right? Again, if there's one you can take from today, learn about the 99 names of Allah, learn who Allah is. That's my advice to everyone, including myself. Learn these 99 names, learn who Allah is, who is our Lord, and by bi'idhnillah, we should all enter Jannah. I say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us, and He allows us to benefit from today. I say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He eases and aids our brothers in Gaza. I say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He forgives us for all of our sins, and He gathers us all into Jannah and Firdaus al-A'la. That's all said for today, inshallah, and I will see you all next week. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.